Hi, we're doing a little experiment today, man versus machine. So Mike McCaffrey is here visiting from Washington State. We've known each other over 25 years. He's been working on my horses. He does all sorts of methods of body work, massage on the horses. And you can see Teddy is horribly distraught by being touched. So what we did today was I scanned Teddy with my PEMF machine, and I wrote down on a piece of paper the areas that I found that need some attention on him, areas that were acting abnormal with the PEMF machine. And then Mike did a quick scan with his hands and found places that he also thinks need some attention. And so we want to see if using the machine can get similar or some results to what you can get from a human, because not all of us have a mic available to us. And so these horses that are working, their bodies need help. They can't just be ridden and then just put away. They need some sort of therapy to help them, and we have to find the one that is most effective for the horse that we have. Teddy loves having hands-on. He just thinks that's the best therapy ever. I'm not a massage therapist. I have a PEMF machine. And so that's what I use most of the time on him. So this is our little experiment. So I'm going to show Mike the places that I found need some attention. I drew a little diagram here, and I'm going to look at the places that he found needs attention. And he's a massage therapist, so he wrote everything down in the horse's muscles. And I drew a picture. But we came out with almost identical areas on the horse using two very different ways to scan him and figure out what are the areas of tension or tightness in Ted's body that need some attention. So little blind study there, we found the same places in the horse. So Mike's working on the horse right now. I actually put the PEMF on him already and have worked two of the areas that Mike and I found need the most attention. I worked the right shoulder and I worked over the left hip. So Mike's on the right shoulder right now. He's not given me any input at all of what he has found. So far working this right shoulder after I did the PEMF, are you noticing any difference at all?
Oh yeah, I'm noticing the fact that I can get in a lot deeper right away.
Wow, okay.
Where I would normally, as tight as he was in here, I would normally have to peel the layers of the onion, several strokes to get in deep. But he was allowing me to get in much deeper right off the bat and get results and releases. You saw them licking and chewing there a minute ago.
So I did about 4 minutes on this shoulder. How long do you think it would have taken you to work on this shoulder to get to where he feels now?
Oh, probably 10 minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay. So for someone who does work with their hands with the horse, using a PEMF machine actually may save their hands a little bit by maybe warming them up a little bit and helping get the more superficial stuff so they can work in deeper. Is that what you would think?
It would, and I think you might be talking me into my hands need some saving.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that you utilize, we weren't even going to talk about that in this video, but you utilize the Equisage pad at home,
right?
Because you find that that gets a little relaxation and helps you get a little bit deeper into the muscles, whether it's a physical or mental relaxation that's helping. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'll share a code down in the comments where you can get that Equisage pad that we talk about. I use it almost every day, especially in the winter when it's cold. I just set it on the horse's back. It runs for 20 minutes. It's about as much time as it takes me to groom a horse and put boots on their legs and pick their hooves. And then I pull the pad off, put the saddle on, and go for a ride. And it really makes them feel like Mike did a short session on the horse, kind of getting their muscles loosened up a little bit. So it's nice to hear that's something that you use to help a little bit.
I find it's helpful for especially horses that are extremely back sore.
Yeah.
And I can barely even touch them. And I put
Wow.
that on for a while, and then I can get in much deeper. Right
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Oh, he's pretty happy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd love for you to go over to that left side. I know it's really not normal to bounce around on a horse, but I'd love to see what you feel over on that left hip, because I feel like that one had the most tension in his whole body.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I got it worked out all the way with the machine, but what I noticed was that when I was pulsing that left hip, it was a really strong out of rhythm hip initially. And the more I worked on it, it started to come in rhythm, and the pulsing was a lot smaller. And I only worked about 4 minutes on it.
So right off the bat, I'm able to get in deeper.
Yeah, you couldn't push like that when you first checked him.
He was flinching pretty good.
Yeah.
And that was fairly light.
Yeah.
So I'm deeper already. And he just gave a lick and chew right off the bat. So.
Yeah, because you have white on your knuckles there pushing, and you didn't when you were first checking him out. You couldn't push that hard.
Yeah, I'm able to get a lot deeper right off the bat.
Wasn't he even tipping his pelvis a little bit when you were getting higher up there with your hand? Yeah, and he's not doing that now. Yeah.
Yeah, much deeper.
Yeah, way deeper. But it hasn't worked out that muscle completely, or you still feel there's a little something in there?
It's not a lot. There's still some tension down deep, but I'm still surfing his pain threshold, just staying under it. As I get down into his IT band, it gets shallower, so I go a little softer on that. But I'm a lot deeper than I would have normally been.
So is the PEMF something that you think would be good? You mentioned you think it would be good to kind of warm them up so you could have a little easier time. You could just start a little bit deeper. What are your thoughts on people using it in between the times when you could come out?
It would be good preventative maintenance for sure.
Yeah.
And even in the absence of not getting body work, you're getting a lot of good results from it.
Yeah, because he doesn't get any hands-on during the summer when you're not here. I don't do any of this stuff. So I just use the PEMF on him. And I felt like when you came out last winter and then when you were here last month, we weren't really hitting any major problems like I would expect with as hard as he was working, as much as he had grown. It to me felt like it was a maintenance session.
Yeah, and I would say that the PEMF is great for preventative maintenance, as well.
Yeah.
As rehab.
So man versus machine, who's the winner? They work well together, huh?
They do.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I would say that they're really good to use together. So if you don't have your own personal mic, you could probably use the PEMF to get a lot done in helping your horse's comfort and recovery level. And if you have a mic, use them as much as you can, and maybe warm your horse up with a little PEMF. So like a Beamer blanket type PEMF blanket, like I use Activo Med. I wonder how that would warm a horse up for you. That should be another video we do.
We'll have to try that.
Yeah, we'll try that next month when Mike comes. I have a Combi Pro 2 blanket, which is a PEMF blanket. Most people know the brand name Beamer. But it's the same thing, different brand. And maybe we'll have Mike put his hands on him and see what he feels. Then we'll put the blanket on and let Teddy have a session, and then have Mike put his hands back on and see what the blanket does for him. All right, happy riding, everyone. I think that's good enough, huh? Look at him. I don't think you could have got that deep earlier.
No.
I mean, you're on the wall.
Yeah, this would be a good one to maybe edit into it.
Yeah. Well, he was already starting to lean on you as I was talking
but
there.
Now he's pushing in.
Yeah. I don't know how good let me see. I may zoom in a little bit on that because it's still recording.
Yeah, he's pushing.
Oh my gosh.
He's pushing deep into it. Good boy.
So Teddy has Mike pretty much pushed into the wall there so that he can work deeper into that hindquarter muscle. Yeah, there we go. You're going to need a PMF session afterward, Mike.
And this is where I start charging by the pound.
Good thing he's little.
There, now he's pushing into it.
Oh, that's pretty funny. And the look on his face, he's just like out.
Boy.
Wow. You want a step stool?
No, that's good.
He'll just climb up the wall.
But this is really deep.
Yeah. But he's not let you get that deep into his hindquarters before. And like I said, I feel like he's got something really deep down in that left.
Yeah, he does. You can tell by the way that machine was working.
Yeah.
So it wasn't lying. It was giving you truthful feedback.
Yeah. I think that's pretty cool, actually, that we both really found the same places.
Right, yeah.
And that you can get in deeper.
Much deeper,
that's huge.
Much quicker.
Yeah, much quicker. I mean, if you could cut 20 minutes off of massage time.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be worth it. I'd have more longevity in my hands.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Yeah, he's pretty happy.
Yeah, so you'd be able to edit in some of that, right?
Yeah. I may put that like right up at the beginning even. Yeah, I mean, you're really in there, and he's very happy. Yeah, that's the first time he was like, okay, give me a break.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
Well, that's cool.
Wow. Yeah, and I mean, he looks
cool
really sound.
Yeah,
that was a really cool experiment. That is not what I thought. I really thought you'd be like, well, I don't know, maybe something's different.
No, it was definitely noticeable.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw how deep I was working to begin with.
Yeah.
And then, when we were exploring.
Yeah.
And then how much deeper I could go in after you were in there.
And I was super quick on what I did.
Yeah.
And I noticed too, it's just like with the work that you do, and the video is still going for this. So I noticed too that with the machine, it's just like the work that you do is that you can get releases on the neck and they get better in the haunches.
Oh, yeah.
And so like with the machine, I only did right shoulder, left hip. And he hasn't had any PMF for 2 weeks. I've done nothing, no taping, no laser. I've done nothing for 2 weeks. Because I wanted him, like, worst case scenario. I wanted to find things on him, right? Yeah. And normally I would try and put either the PMF blanket or the machine on him like once a week. I don't even do like a full session most of the time, but I try to do something. Mm-hmm. But I definitely notice, like, when I'm working on the horse with the PMF, is I may find an area that's just really overpulsing in a very abnormal way. So what we do is we put the loop on this left shoulder where this nerve bundle is, and that's how we determine how strong we're going to make the machine. And we just want a light pulse going there. And then we scan the horse's body, and based on how much muscle mass they have, there's a very predictable amount of pulse that we're going to see in comparison to what we saw on the shoulder. Smaller muscle mass areas are going to pulse a little less. Larger muscle mass areas are going to pulse a little bit stronger, but it should be in a nice steady rhythm matching the machine. And so I scan the whole horse, and I'll find areas where I can barely just do a scan over the area because they're way too sensitive. Mm-hmm. And I'll work the rest of the horse's body. And when I come back to that area, I'm able to work it on the same setting and get it settled down. And it will be pulsing less than it was when I scanned him.
Well, even what you did previously here, it had a systemic effect. I was able to get in deeper behind the withers here.
Yeah. Yeah. And you were saying, oh, his neck is so much better. And I'm like, Mike, I didn't do his neck. I did his shoulder.
Yeah.
But it's, the hamstrings connected to the thigh bone's connected to the knee bone, right?
And then the fascia, superficial fascia connects it all.
Yeah.
So, It definitely has an effect, whole body effect.
Good job, buddy.
He's doing a pin and stretch there.
Yeah.
Good boy. Good boy. Stretching that.
Right there, yeah. That feels good.